Hey you, what up? Maryam here, welcome to my channel, welcome back. In this video, I'm gonna be reviewing, applying, wear testing, and checking in on this IT Cosmetics CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream. So this is an SPF50 physical sunscreen, aka mineral sunscreen, not to be confused with chemical sunscreen, which I am personally sensitive to. I'm excited for this because this is supposed to work for my acne-prone, oily, sensitive skin, and so I am kind of here for it. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Make sure to watch this video in its entirety for that wear test and for the check-ins. I will be going to the beach, so I will be testing out this SPF50 foundation CC cream and showing you what it looks like in all the elements. Remember to subscribe, notification bell, and let's hit it. IT Cosmetics CC Plus SPF50 review and wear test. Let's hit it. Let's go over all the deets that we have here. This is a $47 product. It is available on itcosmetics.com. Also at Ulta, I believe. And apparently this is the #1 SPF foundation in America. I did not know that, and I'll be truthful, the reason why I've always stayed away from IT Cosmetics CC creams is because they've always contained chemical sunscreens, which I personally am very sensitive to because I have acne-prone skin. Chemical sunscreens tend to break me out almost immediately, like the day that I wear them. So I know this is not something that's for me, and I know I have learned to stay away from the chemical sunscreens. Also, they are not necessarily reef safe, so to me, mineral, aka physical sunscreen, is the way to go. The difference between the two is that chemical sunscreen actually penetrates your skin and blocks UVA, UVB rays, whereas physical or mineral sunscreen just lays on top of your skin. Sometimes it does cause a white cast, so I will mention that this product, which now comes in, I believe, 22 shades, correct me if I'm wrong, only has physical/mineral SPF in the lighter shades. The last 6 shades, the deeper shades, actually contain a chemical sunscreen, so please beware. But if you're someone with a deeper skin tone who does not have sensitive skin or is not acne prone, then probably shouldn't worry. However, if you are someone with a deeper skin tone and you have sensitive acne prone skin, you have been warned. Apparently it is really hard to formulate products with mineral SPF that do not flashback white, that do not cast that white spell. That's what I call it. But because I'm on the lighter spectrum, even though I'm a medium skin tone, I can get away with it most of the time. All right, so let's actually test out these shades. I've got the shade light medium here, which actually has a cool pink undertone. Definitely not for me, but I believe this was sent to me because this is a new shade. Okay, this definitely looks lightish and a little bit pinkish. So now let's test out the medium tan. I believe medium tan is a shade that I typically wear in IT Cosmetics products. Though, like I said, I'm not too keen on them just because of the chemical SPF component. Their CC Plus Glow, I cannot wear at all. That product broke me out, so I tend to just stay away altogether. This is the shade that I'm gonna go for, even though this one kind of matches like my discolored skin tone, which has a lot of redness due to acne breakouts. But this looks very, very full coverage. So I'm gonna take this baby to the beach, and I'm gonna take some thumbnail pictures right now because it's time. Will this work for me? Is this really safe for sensitive skin? For acne prone skin? I'm nervous, but let's find out. All right, so I'm gonna remove that from my face real quick. I already have my skincare on. I applied it about 10-15 minutes ago, so my skin feels pretty hydrated. So what I'm gonna do is basically apply it straight from the tube. I always like the fact that this comes in a squeezy tube with a pump. Really very nice. And of course, my favorite brush, the IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection #7 brush. I love this brush. This is by far my absolute favorite foundation brush. I probably own close to, I don't want to exaggerate, but probably like 20 of these brushes because I love them so much. I'm gonna start off by applying just a small sheer amount. Keep in mind, I already have my SPF on my face because I am going to the beach, like I said. And obviously there are some parts like my hairline and my part over here that I needed to get into before I even start my makeup. Man, this looks so freaking good. I feel like this probably doesn't even need to be set with powder because it's a thicker product. It applies quite solid and the coverage is really decent, and conveniently I am breaking out at the moment, so there's things for me to cover. And this is actually what this is perfect for, because typically I wouldn't think to wear foundation to the beach. I would probably just wear a very light coverage skin tint or just my Murad SPF, which is like my all-around favorite SPF for the face. But because I have some issues and I still want to look cute, you know, because the beach that I go to is kind of like a beach club with a bar and a restaurant and people attempting to look cute, you know, I want to attempt to look cute too. So a little bit of coverage is greatly appreciated here. The coverage here is indeed very, very, very nice. I would say this is a medium to full coverage, and what I also like about it is how skin perfecting it is. It definitely smoothed out all of my bumps that I had here. I definitely feel more comfortable in my skin. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a foundation. Skin match is perfect, and honestly, I can't complain. I'm gonna add just a little bit more to ensure that every inch is covered, though adding more definitely makes it look and feel a pinch heavier. And make sure I hit up those ears, behind the ears, those temples, and here is the face. The face is not even set, yet it looks pretty flawless for me. I am gonna show you a close-up. Here we are. Of course, you can still see the bumps on my skin, but the coverage is really, really great. Forehead looks almost perfect. This side of the face, not bad, not bad. So the most important thing, I guess, is to see how this wears, how this feels throughout the day. So take a look at this final face before I step out. I'm not actually gonna set this with any powder because this is acting as my sunscreen and I don't wanna have too makeup-y of a face. I think this right now looks and feels good to me. And as long as this stays that way, I will be very happy. I hope you agree. Let's cue in that good old time warping music for that beach check-in and for that wear test. Okay guys, I am at the beach and here is my first check-in. Here is the skin. Looking a little bit shiny, but not greasy and totally well put together. It's been 5 hours, so let me check in a little bit and let's see for the wear test. Okay guys, we are back from the beach and we are looking very glossy. Wow, that forehead is reflecting everything that is in this room. Okay, let me zoom in. So one of the things that I didn't actually catch while I was doing my check-in at the beach is how makeup-y my skin actually looks. So you probably can't tell on camera, but I can definitely tell in person. This part right here around my mouth and around the porous zones, around the nose as well, looks kind of creamy, like there's a lot of product sitting on top of my skin. And this is something that I couldn't really notice in person while I was at the beach because it was so sunny and so bright. I really wasn't able to tell. So maybe this isn't something that you can necessarily tell in person, but the moment that I came home and looked at myself in the mirror, first thing that I noticed was the layer of product that is sitting on my face. It doesn't actually look like SPF. In fact, it looks like a layer of foundation that is just been basking, literally basking on the surface of my skin. I'm not gonna say that it looks completely bad. In fact, I think it has worn fairly well. Let me actually go ahead and do a test here. Oh, that is not a great test. You can clearly see where my skin begins and ends and where the foundation starts. Outside of that little test, the product has stayed intact, mainly because I wasn't touching my forehead, I wasn't touching my face, and also because I didn't set this with powder. I wanted this to act more like a sunscreen rather than a foundation or a skin tint. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that this is just too much makeup for me. This is just a little bit too full coverage for my preference. And although I like the coverage, I like how it first looked when I first applied it to my face, I can't say that I love it at the end of a day, at least at the end of a beach day. Perhaps if I wore it with some helpers, an actual primer, an actual powder to set everything in place, maybe I would have a different story. But as is, for the purpose of going to the beach and wearing a little bit more coverage, this is just not for me. This is a little bit too heavy, a little bit too thick and greasy for my oily AF skin. That is the bottom line. That's not to say that those of you who have somewhat problematic skin won't get a good wear out of this, especially if you're using it for every day to go to work. If you're setting it with powder, you probably will have a better experience than I did. And I'm not gonna go ahead and say that this is out of the question for me. I'll never reach for it again. I definitely will reach for this product again, just not for the beach. So that is my story. That is my wear test, my check-in, and my final face at the end of a very long day. I believe it's been 8 or 9 hours since I've had this product on my face. Maybe you could be the judge. What do you think of this wear test? Is it fair? Is it reasonable? Let me know down below and let's talk. For now, I'm gonna say farewell. Peace out. I'm out. Check out more videos over here. Deuces.